Hello everyone. So in today's video we are going to learn about the third form of public enterprise, that is government companies. So let us know what is government company. A government company is a company in which not less than 51% of the paid up share capital is held by the central government or state government or jointly by both. That means a company owned by central or state government is called a government company. So the whole of the capital or majority of the shares are owned by the government. Okay, so this capital is held by the central government or by any state government, or partially by the central government or partially by one or more state government. And in some cases this private investment is also encouraged. Okay, and this but it can encourage, but at least 51% of the shares are held by the government. The government should have 51%, at least 51% of the share. It should be not less than 51%, but it can be more than 51%. Okay, so the management of these companies under the control of the government, as government companies are registered both as public limited and private limited of the companies. So but this management remains with the government in both the cases, whether it is private or public, but the management remains in the hands of the government. And this government company enjoys some privilege which are not available to non-government company. So the subsidiary of the company of government are also covered under the government companies. Okay, so some of the examples of government companies in India are like Coal Mines Authority Limited, then Steel Authority of India Limited, then Hindustan Cables Limited, and many more. The next we have features of government companies. So it is formed, this features is formed as per the provision of the Company Act 2013. So number one is separate legal entity. So a government company is a legal entity separate from the government, and it can acquire property, can make contract, and can file suits in its own name. That means a government company is registered under the Companies Act 1956. Okay, and it is a separate legal entity under the law. So it can enter into the contract with the third parties and can also file a lawsuit against other in its own name. The next we have free from procedural controls. A government company is free from budgetary, accounting, and audit control applicable to the government undertaking. That means these companies are exempted from the accounting and audit rules or procedures of the government. They have no need to follow the rules or regulation or procedures of the government. They can make their own rules and they can follow it. So it is free from the budgetary, accounting, and audit control of the government. Next is staffing. Government company hires its own employees and their salaries and facilities as per the company's laws. That means these government companies or like this company is free to frame its own rules and regulation for recruiting the employees or staff. So the employee will be working under the company as per its terms and condition or its rules and regulation. The next we have accountability of the Parliament State Legislature. The annual report of the government company is placed before the Parliament or the state legislature. Though this government company, they have their own rules, they have their own budgetary control, but the annual report of this company must have to be placed before the Parliament or the state legislature. So they don't have to discuss with them for making a company or creating a company, but they have to show the annual report or discuss on the annual report to the parliament or the state legislature. Then we have executive decision of government. A government company is created by an executive decision of the government without seeking the approval of the parliament or the state legislature. That means this government company, they don't have to seek the approval from the parliament or the state legislature. They can create their own company by discussing among themselves, by discussing among them. The discussion should be executive of the government. Okay. Then next is merits, or we can say advantages of the government company. Number one is easy formation. A government company can be easily formed under the Company Act just by an executive decision of the government. That means a government company can be easily formed, as they don't have to discuss or take permission from the parliament or the state legislature. They can easily form their business, or they can easily form their business by making discussion among themselves. Next is professional management. A government company can employ professionally qualified manager because it has its own personal policies. Next is government company, they have their own criteria, or they have their own way of selecting the employees. Okay, so they can employ their employees or managers, those who are professionally qualified. Okay, and that personal employees have to follow the rules or have to follow the terms and conditions of the company. Next is internal autonomy. A government company can manage its affairs independently. It is relatively free from ministerial control and political interference in its day-to-day functioning. That means a government company, they can manage their affairs or ways independently. Okay, they are free from the ministerial control. They are free from the political interference in their company. Okay, they can do their work by themselves, as there is no interference of the political power or government. Next is easy to alter. Objectives and powers of the government company can be changed by simply altering the memorandum of association of the company without seeking the approval of the parliament. That means this government company, if they want to change their objectives, if they want to alter their objectives and powers, so they can change it. Just simply they have to alter the memorandum of association, and they don't have to seek the approval from the parliament or the state legislature. They can simply change or alter the objectives and powers by modifying or by altering the memorandum of association. Then next we have public accountability. The annual report of a government company is presented to the parliament, state legislature. This report can be discussed and debated there. That means that this government company, they don't have to seek the approval from the parliament or state legislature, but they have to show the annual report to the government, annual report of the government company to the parliament and or state legislature, and these reports and the discussion of these reports will be discussed there. Okay. Then next is demerits, limitation or disadvantage of the government company. Number one is autonomy only in name. Yes, independent character of a government company exists only in name. In reality, politician, minister, government official interfere excessively in the day-to-day working of the government company. So just now we read that there is no interference of the political parties, yes, or there is no interference of the government or parliament, but it is only in written, but in theoretical it is totally different. Okay, so these companies are free from government control, but in reality they are dependent on various government department. They have to get permission from the government department regarding loans or capitals or other managerial appointment. Okay, and there is also a interference of the political or ministers also. Next is political interference. These companies face a lot of government interference and involvement of the government official, ministers and politicians. That means there is a lot of political interference in government companies. But before we did, there is no interference of the political. But in reality, it is. There is a lot of political interference in this company. So every government tries to nominate directors from its own political party. And the companies are run on political consideration itself. The next is red tapeism. Due to red tapeism, decisions are delayed. It would not be able to capitalize on new opportunities. Sometimes decisions are delayed for fear of making mistakes. And these companies are dependent on the government for taking important policy decisions. And this red tapeism in government departments affects the working of these companies. Okay. Then next we have change in policies and management. The policies and management of these companies generally keep on changing with the change of government. Frequent change of rules, policies and procedure leads to an unhealthy situation of the business enterprise. So see, in government company, if the government change, the rules or regulation change, okay, or the policy or procedures change, so it creates an unhealthy situation in the business enterprise. Suppose you suppose at your home or in some place you have following one rule, but suddenly the new people came and it's changed the rules and regulations, then it will be difficult for we to adapt it. Yes, frequently if you are changing the rules and regulations, then it creates an unhealthy situation or unhealthy environment in our life or area. So same thing happened to the government company. So their rules, regulations or procedures used to change frequently because of the change of the government. Okay, new government, new rules. Okay, so it creates an unhealthy situations of in business enterprise. Next is selfish functioning. The government company works neither for the government nor for the public at large. It serves the personal interests of people who work in the company and who dictate policies of the company. That means this government company is neither work for the government or neither for the public. It only serves the personal interests of the people, those who are working in the company. Okay, it is not following the government but other people, but it is following or it is serving the people who are working in the company and who are dictating the policies of the company. Okay, those who are dictating the policies of company or those who are working in the company, they are only served by the company. Rather others, they don't work for them. Okay, so hope you understand about the government company. So in next video we will discuss about the changing rule of public sector. Thank you.